Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check. Point it right, point it right, point it right.
Mayfield looks to throw, and he whips that one incomplete there.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From midfield now on 2nd down, Mayfield.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Good. 180. 59. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Mayfield down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity miss there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 9-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check back.
Running with Howard. And an alley to run. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
A good run by Jordan Howard. And now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Right back to Sanders on first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. This is Howard on 2nd down. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Howard. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Go. 20. All day, baby, all day. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
On first down, Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
To try again after the sack. Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
46 down, man. 5-4.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. No doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit, and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
A throw on the quick slant, going to be complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He may try and run for this. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 15-yard line.
We're scoreless after 1.
With no score.
Good. 180. In the face.
Throwing on second down. Mayfield steps away to his left. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up
Good.
3rd
180.
and 3.
I don't think you got it, sir.
Mayfield off the play fake. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. His 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Throwing, Mayfield. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken in at the 22. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run with Howard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here we go. Waiting.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Kirksey able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Eagles' 37-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Mayfield to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
A 54-yard attempt.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will make our score 9-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And this one complete to Will Fuller. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
A gain of 14. And an Eagle 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw again on 2nd down, Wentz. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
A 1st down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. And he finds Howard complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They go counter with Howard. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st and goal, Howard. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. On 2nd and goal. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Here's Hunt, and an alley to run. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
180.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Throwing now is Wentz. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Wentz able to hook up with Aguilar for a big gain, 47 yards.
Eagles first down.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
51 to Mike. 51 to Mike.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. But now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now Wentz again. And he connects with Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score.
It used to be that if you were a big wide receiver and the coaches wanted to make you a tight end, you resisted the move. Now it's almost a glamour position because they have the mismatch advantage. Are you going to cover them with a linebacker? They're probably faster. A defensive back? They're going to be bigger. Tight end is the new big-time position.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Get ready, get ready,
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where you're...
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. 53 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. He finds his target, Beckham. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Call it a loss of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
At the 9-yard line.
They're running it. He's crashing. Hey, alert, 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 alert.
A run for Nick Chubb. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This time, the extra point up and good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They're a little bounce in their step after scoring that 1st touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Gonna be a long day.
To throw, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Wentz. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Yeah, this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! At their own 37-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And it's caught. Beckham. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mayfield now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Set, 180. Exit, exit. Left, left, left. Let's go.
Now Mayfield running left on the option. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
On third down, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
You. 80 weapons.
Again, it's Howard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
53 smart. Check 53 smart. I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
This 5-7.
Wentz now to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
The Browns take over first and 10 at the 49-yard line.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll take it down shy the 45 at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it winds us down to the end of the third quarter. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. The Browns on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
53 is the Mike. 53 is the Mike. Hey, defense.
Man 5-7. Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Wentz going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Here's Brian Anger now, standing just outside his own goal line. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Landry, agile footwork. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. Broken tackle. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To throw, Mayfield. Now he'll escape to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here. Not done in the 4th. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Throwing his Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Mayfield now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. This is Hunt. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
180! We ain't giving up nothing today.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Third and long for Mayfield. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Check, 47. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They run again with Hunt. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And they take a knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Eagles' 36-yard line.
I cannot hide. Check 53 is mine. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Okay.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger. And dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Cleveland, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space or out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit. We got it hot like fever. I'm sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing, relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, bang. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, bang. But can you rock it like rocket fuel?